The SG 550 is an assault rifle manufactured by Swiss Arms AG, formerly a division of Schweizerische Industriegesellschaft now known as SIG Holding AG, of Neuhausen, Switzerland. SG is an abbreviation for Sturmgewehr, or assault rifle. The rifle is based on the earlier 5.56 mm SG 540 and is also known as the FAS 90, Fusil d'assaut 90/Fusil d'assalto 90, in French/Italian or STGW 90 in German, Sturmgewehr 90. History. Development. In 1978, the Swiss Army formulated requirements for a successor to the STGW-57 battle rifle, known commercially as the SG 510, using the 7.5 x 55 mm Schmidt-Rubin cartridge. Emphasis was placed on modularity. The weapon family was to include several variants of the base design, including a compact carbine that would be issued to rear echelon and support troops, commanding staff, vehicle crews, special operations personnel and paratroopers. Another aim was to reduce the overall weight of the rifle while retaining comparable or improved accuracy out to 300 m. The solicitation was narrowed down to two designs, the W&F C42, developed by the state-owned Waffenfabrik Bern, using both 6.45 x 48 mm and 5.6 x 45 mm cartridges, and the SG 541, developed by SIG. In 1981, the experimental 6.45 mm GP80 cartridge was rejected in favor of the more conventional 5.6 x 45 mm GP90 round, with a 4.1 grams, tomback-jacketed, lead core projectile, that is the Swiss equivalent to NATO's standard 5.56 x 45 mm cartridge. Production. In February 1983, the decision to adopt the SG 541 was publicly announced. The designation of the rifle was changed in October of the following year to SG 550, while the carbine version became known as the SG 551. Production began in 1986 and 4 years later the rifle was officially accepted into service in 1990, hence the military designation STGW-90. Over 600,000 rifles have been delivered since then and production for the military has now ceased. Design details. Operating mechanism. The SG 550 is a selective fire 5.56 x 45 mm NATO assault rifle firing from a closed bolt. It has a gas-actuated piston-driven long-stroke operating system derived from the SIG SG 540 series of rifles, which uses burnt powder gases vented through a port in the barrel to power the weapon's moving parts. Once inside the gas cylinder, propellant gases pass through an L-shaped channel machined in the piston head and are directed forward towards the gas valve. The pressure build-up in front of the piston head pushes the piston and bolt carrier rearward. As the piston is driven back, the gas port and the L-shaped channel move out of alignment, cutting off the supply of gas to the cylinder. Surplus gas and powder residues are evacuated through an exhaust port in the gas cylinder. This system ensures that only the precise volume of gas required to overcome the mass and resistance of the rifle's moving assembly is admitted from the barrel. The manually adjustable gas valve has two settings, one for normal operation, and the second setting for use in the presence of heavy fouling or icing. The rotary bolt locking mechanism consists of two steel locking lugs that engage locking recesses in the breech, and is identical to that used in the SG 540. A spring-loaded extractor is incorporated into the bolt while a fixed protrusion on one of the receiver's internal guide rails ejects the spent cartridge casings. Features. The rifle is hammer-fired and has a trigger mechanism with an ambidextrous safety and fire selector switch that has 4 settings: S-safe, 1 single fire, 3 3-round burst and 20 fully automatic fire. The 3-round burst mode 3 and the fully automatic 20 position can be disabled by a rotating safety guard to avert accidentally activating the continuous fire mode. The trigger is enclosed in a pivoting trigger guard which can be folded down to the left or right side allowing for unhindered operation with winter gloves. The trigger pull is approximately 35 N, 7.9 lbf. The firearm is fed by lightweight 20-round box magazines, 30, 10 and 5 round magazines are also available. The magazines are molded from a translucent polymer and can be locked together using studs in order to facilitate quicker reloading, jungle style. The empty weight of a 20-round magazine is 95 grams, 3.4 ounces, and 110 grams, 3.9 ounces, for a 30-round magazine. A bolt hold open device locks the bolt carrier assembly open after expending the last cartridge from the magazine and is released by lifting the bolt catch lever located on the left side of the receiver. Alternatively, a left-handed shooter may release the bolt by pulling the rubber-coated charging handle to rear a short distance. The SIG 550 has a side-folding skeletonized buttstock, folds to the right side of the receiver, and a lightweight aluminium bipod that folds into grooves in the lower handguard. The hinged stock is firmly locked in the folded position by a socket in the butt which clips into a plastic stud on the handguard. A firm pull will release the stock, which is then swung into the closed position and locked by a button catch. A collapsible side folding stock is also available. The stock, pistol grip, and handguards are made of a high-strength polymer, and are produced in either green or black color options. The steel receiver housing and several other components are manufactured using stamping and welding. External steel surfaces are finished with a ceramic reinforced enamel coat known as Ilaflone. The gas system's components are made of stainless steel. The barrel, bolt carrier, and firing pin are all made with steel that has been gas nitrided, hardened and tempered. The bolt and carrier, along with most other components internal to the receiver, undergo a phosphating process. The heavy, cold hammer-forged barrel is screwed into the receiver and is equipped with a slotted birdcage-type flash suppressor that is also used to launch rifle grenades, using standard, live ammunition, or attach a knife bayonet. The bayonet is supported by a lug located at the base of the gas block. The rifled barrel has 6 right-hand grooves and the Swiss Army specification 254 mm, 110 in, rifling twist rate is optimized for Swiss military GP90 ammunition. An export-oriented barrel with a 178 mm, 1:7 in, twist rate is also available, designed to stabilize 5.56 x 45 mm NATO rounds with the heavier SS-109 and tracer projectiles. All rifles are test-fired for accuracy and function prior to leaving the factory at the manufacturer's underground 300 m test range. Random new rifles out of production were tested on a machine rest. In a 24 single-shot string starting with a cold weapon and using GP90 ammunition, the R50 or 50% windage and elevation dispersion of any individual weapon must have been within an 11 cm, 4.3 in, group at 300 m. The 50% windage and elevation dispersion must have averaged 7 cm, 2.8 in. The employed circular error probable method cannot be converted and is not comparable to U.S. military methods for determining rifle accuracy. When the R50 results are doubled, the hit probability increases to 93.7%. Sights. The SIG 550 series rifles have a 540 mm, 21.3 in, long sight radius and are equipped with iron sights adjustable for both windage and elevation. The sights are similar to those on some Heckler & Koch weapons, such as the HKG3 or HKMP5. The sights consist of a rear, rotating diopter drum soldered to the receiver and a hooded front post installed in the gas block. The rear sight has an open notch setting marked 1 designed for immediate firing up to 100 m but also contains apertures with settings 2, 3, and 4 corresponding to 200, 300 and 400 m firing ranges. The 400 m setting has a removable iris for sportive shooting. The sights are adjustable via micrometer screws with windage and elevation increments of 0.15 mm, 0.52 moa, or 15 mm, 0.6 in, at 100 m. For night use, the dedicated 1-notch setting in the rear sight drum is provided with 2 self-luminous tritium-powered inserts fitted laterally on each side of the notch and additionally in a flip-up post attached to the foresight. When firing rifle grenades, the front sight hood is aligned with the uppermost edge of the grenade's warhead. This provides an estimated point of impact up to 75 m. The rifle grenades intended for this purpose were FN/Lecher Type 58N bullet-throw anti-tank grenades. The rifle's sights were placed relatively low over the bore axis to ensure a minimal silhouette when firing from the prone position. The shooter presents a 20% smaller target than with the STG-W57, but high enough to provide comfort and speed when shouldering the rifle in the kneeling and offhand shooting positions. The design of the shoulder stock also facilitates the rapid alignment of the shooting eye with the rifle's line of sight. For designated marksman use, the SG-550 is equipped with a Kern 4x24 telescopic sight on a quick detachable mount. The sight weighs 730 grams, 26 ounces, and includes a variety of features, such as STANAG 2324/mil STD 1913 compliant mounting components, a bullet drop compensation, BDC, elevation adjustment knob for ranges from 100 to 600 m, a tritium illuminated reticle that enables target acquisition in low light conditions, and a diopter eyesight correction adjustment. Included with the sight is a lens hood for mounting on the ocular that reduces image quality, impairing stray light, and a gray filter for glare reduction. The basic model of this optical sight was already used on the STG-W57. The upper receiver can accept quick detachable rails and adapters used to mount optics, STANAG 2324 compliant. The scope mounting system consists of a centering hole located on the front face of the rear sight assembly and a dovetail-like mounting point at the front end of the receiver. Swiss arms, respectively Brugger and Thomet, offer several types of quick-release scope mounts and Picatinny rails. A version of the rifle with an integral receiver-mounted Picatinny rail is also offered. In this configuration, the weapon is fitted with flip-up emergency battle sights, a rear aperture sight which folds down into a recess in the rail, and a folding front blade. Accessories. Both the rifle and carbine come standard with a spare magazine, sling, cleaning kit, and a loading aid for rapid magazine filling. The full-sized SG-550/551 will accept SIG's 40mm GL 5040/5140 grenade launcher, Swiss military designation, 40mm Gewehraufsatz 97, which is mounted under the barrel via an eccentric latch and replaces the lower handguard. The grenade launcher is a single-shot breech-loaded weapon that is supplied with a leaf sight that attaches to the rifle's rear sight base and enables accurate firing out to 200 m. The lightweight aluminium launcher weighs 1.7 kilograms, 3.7 pounds, unloaded, and is operated independently of the rifle. It can use a wide array of 40 x 46 mm grenades, including extended-range high-pressure types and non-lethal baton or anti-riot projectiles. The compact SG-552/553 can be fitted with smaller GL 5340 underbarrel grenade launcher. An STG-W90 bayonet can also be mounted to the rifle. The bayonet has an overall length of 310 mm and a muzzle ring diameter of 22 mm. The 177 mm long blade is single-edged and it has no fuller. The bayonets are manufactured exclusively for the Swiss Army by Victorinox and in the past by Wenger until Victorinox acquired Wenger in 2005. With a proper lug adapter, the rifle will also accept a NATO pattern KCB-77, made originally by Karl Eichhorn of Solingen, West Germany, or the American M9. Variants. SG-551. The SG-551 carbine has a short pattern 363 mm, 14.3 in, barrel, gas tube, and piston compared to the SG-550. The SG-551 series rifles have a 466 mm, 18.3 in, long sight radius. The handguards were also changed and the bipod removed. The SG-551 cannot be used with a bayonet or fire rifle grenades. The SG-551 comes in several specialized variants designed for use with security and special forces. Among those variants are the SG-551-1P police carbine, designed to engage point targets out to 300 m, equipped with a Hensoldt 6x42BL telescopic sight and detachable cheek riser, the SG-551 SWAT carbine, coated with a corrosion-resistant finish and equipped with an optical sight mount used with a wide array of sights, and can also accept mission-critical accessories such as a bipod, laser pointer, or tactical light, and the SG 551 LB carbine with an extended 454 mm, 17.9 in, barrel that enables the use of rifle grenades and a bayonet. SG 552 Commando. The compact SG 552 Commando, full designation as the 552-2P, carbine was released in July 1998. It has a shorter 226 mm, 8.9 in, barrel, with an open, 3-prong flash suppressor, and gas tube, ventilated handguards, and a redesigned bolt carrier group that was integrated with the piston rod to form a single moving assembly. The SG 552 series rifles have a 360 mm, 14.2 in, long sight radius. The return mechanism has been moved to the rear of the receiver housing and its recoil spring is guided in a way analogous to that of the AK-47, on a steel guide rod. Later models feature a polymer guide rod, resting against the lower receiver's rear surface under tension of the compressed recoil spring. Like the SG 550/551, this model can accept rails and accessories enabling the use of optics. A long barrel version of the SG 552 known as the SG 552 LB incorporates a 346 mm, 13.6 in, barrel with provision to fire rifle grenades and support a bayonet. The SG 552 models were discontinued in 2008 and replaced by the SG 553. Upgrade part kits are available to convert a SG 552 into a SG 553. SG 553. The SG 553 is an improved version of the SG 552 and was released in 2008. Even though it mostly resembles the SG 552, the SG 553 has one key advantage: the recoil spring is now wrapped around the piston rod like in the SG 550/551 models, which address several reliability issues encountered in the SG 552 and also allows the usage of the standard SG 550/551 charging handle. The SG 553 series rifles have a 339 mm, 13.3 in, long sight radius. A long barrel version of the SG 553 known as the SG 553 LB incorporates a 347 mm, 13.7 in, barrel with provision to fire rifle grenades and support a bayonet. Further factory options for the SG 553 rifle series are an integrated receiver Picatinny rail and an adjustable buttstock. The SG 553R is a variant chambered for the 7.62x39 mm cartridge fed from AK family box magazines. SG 550 Sniper. Another member of the SG 550 family is the SG 550 Sniper variant, also designated SG 550-1, designed specifically for Swiss security forces. This accurized rifle has a refined two-stage trigger. The pull force was reduced from 35 N, 7.9 lbf, to 15 N, 3.4 lbf, a heavy, hammer-forged 650 mm, 25.6 in, long barrel with a 254 mm, 110 in, rifling twist rate. It has no flash hider, and is used exclusively with telescopic sights. The new folding stock has an adjustable cheek piece and a spacer system on the butt. The ergonomic pistol grip's angle of inclination can be regulated, the forend was shortened, and the bipod features a height and cant adjustment mechanism. This model is no longer in production. Civilian variants. The SG 550/551/552/553 are also available in semi-automatic only configurations, intended for the civilian shooting market. Among these variants are the SG 550/551/552 SP, PE90 and SIG sport rifles. The SG 550 series is available with either 178 mm or 254 mm, 1:7 and 110 in, twist rate barrels. Rifles designated SG 55X1 have a 254 mm, 110 in, twist rate, while models marked SG55X2 have a 178 mm, 1:7 in, twist rate. The Ordnance GP90 ammunition is optimized for use with the original Swiss 254 mm, 110 in, rifling twist rate. Due to import restrictions, the American civilian market required a partially American-made version assembled by SIG Sauer, Inc. in Exeter, New Hampshire. The SIG 556 is designed to meet these requirements. The 556 lacks full auto capability and the overall length is 940 mm, 37.0 in. One difference is a new aluminum lower receiver that accepts M16 Stanag magazines and an M4 telescoping buttstock. The barrel's twist rate is 178 mm, 1:7 in. There are many variants of this rifle offered for sale. The first variant was sold with an aluminum Picatinny rail on the upper receiver and a series of plastic rails on the handguard. The market pushed SIG to produce the rifle with the slimmer profile 551 type handguards and a hooded front sight. This version is marketed as the SIG 556 Classic. Several folding stock models have been released as well as variants with railed fore-end combinations. Another major variant is a SIG 556 DMR. This features a 21 in, 533.4 mm, long barrel without flash suppressor, upgraded, a match-type trigger, Magpul PRS stock and older-style plastic handguards. SIG P556 pistol variants with 10 in barrels are also available. In 2012 the SIG 556R or SIG 556 Russian chambered for the 7.62 x 39 mm cartridge and using AK pattern box magazines was introduced. The first generation of SIG 556R rifles had a number of performance issues that were later resolved in later production runs of the SIG 556R. In January 2014, SIG introduced the 556XI series rifles as an improvement to the 556 and 556R series rifles. As of May 2017, SIG has discontinued the SIG 556, SIG 556R, and 556XI series of rifles and no longer displays those models on the products section of their website. The SIG 522LR is a .22 caliber sporting rifle styled after the SG 551. It uses a simple blowback semi-automatic operating system and its barrel has a 406 mm, 1/16 in, twist rate. Due to its operating principle, the rifle has no mechanical commonality with other SG 550 variants. The SIG 522 accepts commonly available AR-style .22 caliber conversion magazines. Regulation in Canada. On February 27, 2014, the Canadian semi-automatic classic green sporting rifle, also known as the Swiss Arms PE90, was reclassified as a prohibited weapon. The rifle had been popular with hunters and gun enthusiasts, who until February 2014, only required a possession and acquisition license to obtain the rifle. However, late in 2013, a gun dealer had imported some PE90 rifles from Switzerland and brought them to Canada for sale. After some were sold, it was alleged by another retailer that they had previously been full auto variants, converted to semi-auto. Upon investigation and examination by the RCMP, this was proven not to be the case as the rifles were purpose-built semi-automatic versions. However, they did determine that a sample rifle provided by the complainant had been assembled with a receiver that had once been used in a fully automatic version of the rifle and declared the entire model line prohibited, with possible confiscation for destruction. This caused outrage among gun owners, firearms lobbyists, and some civil rights advocates, who felt the RCMP overstepped their authority, and that such policy changes should be enacted by legislation. The National Firearms Association of Canada considered pursuit of the matter through the legal system. On July 31, 2015, the Canadian government overturned the reclassification and returned the Swiss rifles to the original non-restricted and restricted classifications. Type assault rifle. Place of origin Switzerland. Service history. In service 1990 present. Used by C users. Production history. Designer Schweizerische Industrie Gesellschaft. Designed 1970s 1980s. Manufacturer Swiss Arms AG, formerly Schweizerische Industrie Gesellschaft. Produced 1986 present. No built 600,000 plus. Variants see variants. Specifications. Weight SG 550, 4.1 kilograms, 9.04 pounds. SG 551, 3.40 kilograms, 7.5 pounds. SG 552 Commando, 3.2 kilograms, 7.1 pounds. SG 553, 3.2 kilograms, 7.1 pounds. SG 550 Sniper, 7.02 kilograms, 15.5 pounds. Length SG 550, stock extended 998 mm, 39.3 in. SG 550, stock folded 772 mm, 30.4 in. SG 551, stock extended 833 mm, 32.8 in. SG 551, stock folded 607 mm, 23.9 in. SG 552 Commando, stock extended 730 mm, 28.7 in. SG 552 Commando, stock folded 504 mm, 19.8 in. SG 553, stock extended 730 mm, 28.7 in. SG 553, stock folded 501 mm, 19.7 in. SG 550 Sniper, stock extended 1130 mm, 44.5 in. SG 550 Sniper, stock folded 905 mm, 35.6 in. Barrel length SG 550, 528 mm, 20.8 in. SG 551, 363 mm, 14.3 in. SG 552 Commando, 226 mm, 8.9 in. SG 553, 227 mm, 8.9 in. SG 550 Sniper, 650 mm, 25.6 in. Cartridge 5.56 x 45 mm NATO, 5.6 mm GW Pat 90. Action gas operated, rotating bolt. Rate of fire approximate 700 rounds/min. Muzzle velocity SG 550, 911 m/s, 2989 feet/s. SG 551, 850 m/s, 2788.7 feet/s. SG 552 Commando, 725 m/s, 2378.6 feet/s. SG 550 Sniper, 940 m/s, 3084.0 feet/s. Effective firing range 100-400 m. Sight adjustments. Feed system 5, 20 or 30 round detachable box magazine. Sights rear, rotating diopter drum with tritium night inserts, front, hooded post with folding night post. 540 mm, 21.3 in, sight radius, SG 550. 466 mm, 18.3 in, sight radius, SG 551.
Please subscribe and thanks for watching.